looking towards the future, we've got new stuff coming to the War Within, specifically for raiding. There is a new mode, a 5th difficulty coming for the raid. It is not LFR, it is not normal, it is not heroic, it is not mythic, it is story mode. And story mode was data mined by one of the fan sites earlier on, and then a thread started on the forums, and Blizzard has now confirmed, well, not only its existence, but what their intentions are for this. So story mode is going to be a one-time sort of a thing that you can do. You can do it repeatedly, but it's meant to be a one-time thing that you do to get the story out of the raid. So many of World of Warcraft's like ultimate conclusions to whatever's happening in the patch occurs in the raids. It's something I wanted, and I think this is something that we were talking about before, where I said, well, like LFR is really kind of splitting itself, serving two masters, if you will. The people who want to know what in the world's going on, and the people who want gear out of it. And so a mode that is set for story seems really cool. What's your takes on this, Sean?
Ooh, my takes. I have one take. 9 out of 10, one note. This is an absolute banger. Do not make people wait for LFR. That's the only ask I have. I think this is needed. I think this is great. I love this. I'm happy for this. I have a friend who has been a solo player since original MOP. She had a poor experience in a guild, and then just, you know what? I'm just going to be alone now, and has played solo through the game ever since WoD started. And she doesn't get to see the closing of stories outside of a YouTube video until the next expansion, when she can go back and one man like solo the old raids. So this lets her see them, and if there's one person like that, there are more people like that. So I think 100% this is a huge win. Big happy for it. Just don't time gate it behind LFR. Put it whenever the last boss of the raid is available to the public in normal and heroic and mythic. That's when this should go live, so that people can see that story at the same time.
I would say, so first to give context, because that is a part of the news that I didn't explain.
Did you not mention that?
This is going live, supposedly, with the last wing of LFR. And it is only the final boss of the raid. It's not the entirety of the raid. It is one encounter against the final boss of the raid. I'm trying to be a little bit coy there to avoid story spoilers, but in terms of when people experience this story, I can agree that like having it gated with LFR seems poor, but I will say that maybe Blizzard does something a little bit different. Go ahead. Have it locked away, but as soon as we get our world first AOTC kill, I'm not even talking about wait for Mythic Week. As soon as we get that world first AOTC kill, the next day or next reset, I don't know how hard it is technically, right? Open up the story mode. Now everybody gets to experience it, right? I can understand
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
That works for me. I'll take it. All right, print it. Blizzard, if you're still watching, after Manny told you how mad he was at you for MOP Remix, Lex and I would like for you to print this.
Hey,
Lex, are you excited for story mode?
Sean, Lex gang? How are you thinking about story mode?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think this is really great. I'm really excited about how much World of Warcraft is focusing on allowing solo players to play. Especially because I do think, there's something worth saying that we are past the like golden age of World of Warcraft, where like every other person you passed on the street, you're wearing a World of Warcraft shirt and they're like, oh, for the Alliance. Like, we're no longer in that time. And I know I've had friends try to join World of Warcraft, maybe on a different server, maybe weren't like immediately wanting to jump in with my guild. And they were just like, there's nothing to do. Like, I am completely alone. If I don't do endgame, I don't feel like I have anything. And so I'm really excited for Delves, as everyone knows, because I don't shut up about it. And I'm really excited about story mode rating. I know I've heard some controversy in my circles about the fact that it's only the final boss. personally, I really do like that. Because I am genuinely very scared that we are overloading the devs right now. Just the sheer number of things that, like, now they're getting also like extra extra modes, and they're getting an expansion every other year, and we're we're pumping and pumping and pumping, and so I'm scared that if we also make them do a 5th rating mode, like, we are just begging these people to be on like constant crunch. But also, this is my most unpopular opinion. I am actually really pro LFR, and I wouldn't want it to be that everyone who isn't like, that LFR kind of loses its meaning because everyone just does story mode if they aren't trying to push, and if they're not doing story mode, they do normal. Frankly, I want more people to do LFR. I think everyone should be doing LFR. It's incredible. It teaches you so many things. There's so many ways to engage with it. And the only reason that it is toxic and sweaty is because we've abandoned it to the toxic, sweaty people. And if we had actual good players coming in and doing LFR on a regular basis, they would shut those people down and be fine. Not that this is what we're talking about. That's just my soapbox of the day. So I'm really pro story mode. I think that it's really good. I think that it gives people an opportunity to do the things that they want to do without stepping on toes of other modes.
I would love to see story mode really double down on the story. I would love if the encounter is pretty easy to get through, like almost no fail state, that it is interrupted so that you can have these cool story moments that they wouldn't allow in a normal encounter because half the people want to skip it, right? And so that it's like, I just want this like Nerubian spider queen not to just like crawl up the walls, but like be chewing up the scenery. Like, I just want so much personality out of this and they can do that when you're doing the Fyric fight. Right after you defeat him, it immediately gains control of the camera. It pans in so it can do that big thing. Do that in the middle of a fight, like, oh, phase 1, and instead of it like she immediately goes to phase 2, little cinematic, like, oh, heroes, now my real power, or whatever, right? Twirls mustache and stuff. And then you go into phase 2. Do that. Stuff that you wouldn't do in a large multiplayer environment because everybody is about their time, right? And now you're in a private group, so if I want to skip it, so be it, right? But at least I'm not affecting the gameplay because I chose to skip it. And my group that I personally invited don't do this through any kind of group finder, Blizzard. This is walk up to the dungeon with my group that I've already arranged. We're all on the same page and go and do this. And also, no repeatable loot. I'm okay with a one-time drop, right? But I don't want people going back into this over and over again because they want the gear, which means that if you don't like the story, if you don't like the cinematics, you never have to see it again. There is nothing pulling you to do it. But if you're there and you want that story, and it's like, oh man, that was so much fun. Lex, did you notice this? No, I didn't. Come on, Lex, group up with me. We're going to go do it again, right? That's the kind of people I want doing it over and over again, right?